All right, draft week is over, but we're going to continue and finish out the month here today and tomorrow with the best second round and best first round picks in Eagles history. And in the second round, man, the Eagles have had a lot of players with a lot of success. Some of them include Maxie Baughan, who was a linebacker on the 1960 championship team, drafted in 1960. Wes Hopkins, safety, one of my favorites from those Buddy Ryan days, drafted in the second round in 1983. My boy Randall Cunningham, drafted number 2 in second round in 1995 or 1985. Then 10 years later, in 1995, the Eagles selected Bobby Taylor out of Notre Dame. And then Sheldon Brown was drafted in 2002, L.J. Smith in 2003, Deshaun Jackson in 2008, Zach Ertz in 2013, and then we have a trio of, or I guess 4 Super Bowl 59 winners who were drafted in the second round. Jalen Hurts in 2020, Landon Dickerson in 2021, Cam Jurgens in 2023, and of course, Cooper DeJean with the pick 6 in the Super Bowl, drafted in the second round last year. So, I mean, that's a who's who right there. But they're not the ones we're spotlighting today. We have some of the all-time greats. We have 2 Hall of Famers, 1 possible future Hall of Famer. More on him in a minute. But let's start in the order of which they were drafted. We'll start with the 1988 draft in the second round out of Arizona State. The Eagles select Eric Allen, one of the best corners in NFL history. Certainly has to be considered one of the best, if not the best, in Eagles history. Played for the Eagles from 88 through 94. 3-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler. He's on the Eagles All-75th Anniversary team. He's in the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, the Eagles Hall of Fame, and just recently inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He shares the Eagles' all-time interception crown with Bill Bradley, and somebody we're going to talk about here in a minute with 34. So Eric Allen, 1988 second-round draft pick for the Eagles, Hall of Famer, one of my favorites, and he was drafted out of Arizona State, not Notre Dame. Bobby Taylor was Notre Dame. Eric Allen was Arizona State. And then 1996, one of the all-time greatest Eagles ever was drafted out of Clemson in the second round, and that is Brian Dawkins, Weapon X, B-Dawk. He was a 5-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler. He's on the 2000s All-NFL Decade team. He's on the Eagles 75th Anniversary team. He also is in the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. He's an Eagles Hall of Famer. His number 20 is retired. He is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He played for the Eagles in Super Bowl 39, famously after they finally beat the Falcons to get to the Super Bowl, picked up the pylon, slammed it down, got on the mic and said, "Hallelujah!" But he also shares the interception lead all-time in Eagles history with Eric Allen and Bill Bradley. Also had the quadrifecta in a game where he recovered a fumble, had an interception, had a sack, and then scored a touchdown on a lateral on I believe it was a fake punt. I remember being at that game against the Texans in 2002. He's just the GOAT. He was the heart and soul of those Eagles teams. Still a fan favorite to this day. Brian Dawkins, drafted in the second round in 1996 out of Clemson. And then our final spotlight in the second round, the greatest running back as of right now. You can say what you want about Saquon's season, but for a career, as of right now, LaShawn McCoy is the greatest running back in Eagles history. Drafted in the second round in 2009 out of Pitt. 2-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler. Led the league in rushing in 2013. He's an Eagles Hall of Famer. Has over 11,000 rushing yards in his career, but also could catch the ball. Has, I believe, over 500 catches in his career. 300 of them with the Eagles. Has scored 52 total touchdowns. And this is the thing that got me. I didn't realize this. Career average yards per carry, 4.5. And then, of course, we know he was unceremoniously traded by Chip Kelly for Kiko Alonso. Nobody in Philadelphia liked that trade, but LaShawn McCoy, second-round pick out of Pitt in 2009. So there you have it. Lots of great players in, and it was tough, to be honest with you, as I was going through the list. Like, I wanted to put Rando on there, but I didn't want to put my personal bias in there. But obviously 2 Hall of Famers in Eric Allen and Brian Dawkins, and possibly a future Hall of Famer in LaShawn McCoy. Eagles all drafted in the 2nd round.